My name is Olajumoke Oladipo. I'm the team lead for SME engagement and advisory here in First Bank, and it's absolutely a pleasure to be your moderator today. And today, the beautiful, all what we have been expecting SME Connect webinar for this quarter. We are glad that you are all here with us today. Before I continue, I will want everyone to call one person, the other person. I mean, you all should call people around you to be part of this session today because it promises to be a beautiful and delightful session, a session that you are able to learn and you are able to scale up your business, whatever kind of business you are doing, and wherever you are, even all over the world, not just Nigeria. This session here will be beneficial for you to scale, to increase, and to expand your business. Thank you so much. So I want you all to start calling your friends, your colleagues, your business associates, your business partners. Call everyone, let them join the webinar. Before we start up, today's edition of our SME Connect webinar is AI for business growth, from adoption to integration and scalable impact. And my role here is just to guide our conversation, to keep things interactive, and to ensure every one of you here, I mean, every SME that is here right here, live with actionable insights. So it's not just a session for session's sake. It's a session for you to learn and for you to be able to go back to your business and make use of what you have learned. We are so glad to have you join us today, and we appreciate your time and commitment to learning how to position your business for success with AI. So, our SME Connect webinars are designed for you, and they are gateways to up-to-date information, actionable guidance, and the latest updates crucial for your business in this environment. So I will go ahead now to call the host of today's session. That is the delectable Ibidun Adedewe. She's the head SME acquisition and partnership in First Bank, and she's here to deliver our opening remarks. She'll be sharing insights on the First Bank's commitment to SME development and empowerment. Thank you very much, Vido.
Morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this session. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for joining this session. I know that, typically webinars compete for phone calls and customer attention at this time. So we appreciate you for choosing to spend this time with us. So as SMEs, you drive the employment, innovation, and growth in the economy. And we know that we can't do this without SMEs. SMEs juggle from being the CEOs of their businesses to being HR manager, you are the customer service person. Everything is taking your attention. Even before 12 noon today, I'm sure that you have done CEO, HR manager, and customer service. So we appreciate the time that you have chosen to come here to be with us. Your businesses sustain communities and they play a critical role in national development. So thank you for joining us. For us in First Bank, supporting SMEs is top priority for us. So, and that's why the purpose of today's webinar is to equip you with practical insights and tools that will help your business compete and grow and scale increasingly in this digital environment. At First Bank, our role goes beyond just providing finance. I mean, that's what everybody expects from a bank. We are focused on equipping you with the right information, the tools, and the platforms to sustain your business and to ensure that you grow. So we are proud today to actually position this webinar to actually drive one of the key pain points for SMEs, and it's one of the things that is actually the buzz right now, even generally worldwide. So as a bank that is a champion for SMEs, and our commitment to actually scale SMEs, we have this webinar exclusively for you to actually grow. For businesses and for us as First Bank, one of the things that we do majorly is to actually offer advisory services for SMEs at different stages of their growth. We have invested in major platforms that will make banking simpler for you, and it will be faster and more accessible as well. Our SMEConnect is one of the platforms that we have. Is a one-stop platform that brings together funding opportunities. We have strategic partners there. We collaborate with government agencies and associations, institutions, and various partners in the ecosystem to expose SMEs to the best practices and offerings. On the financing side, I mean, because that's why we're also here as a bank. We also offer working capital loans, asset finance, asset acquisition, supply chain finance, leveraging digital solutions that is also driven by AI as well, which is the topic for today. For instance, as a bank, we disbursed over 1 trillion in digital loans for individuals and SMEs recently. And if you hear us say we disbursed 1 trillion, the next question can be, how was this possible? It is not magic, and certainly we did not ask people to fill more bank forms as people typically imagine. It was through AI driven instant credit scoring, which also allowed us to access people quickly. We access the risk quickly, and we disburse loans efficiently to SMEs so that they can access their capital instantly as soon as they need it. Also, apart from the digital loans that we have instantly, we also have other loans, and we disbursed over 100 billion to traders across markets last year, also 200 billion to other sectors, and most of this lending was without collateral, which is one of the key pain points for SMEs. So our goal is simple. We want to remove any barrier that will slow your business down, because running these businesses, I mean, is key for you, and it's also key to grow the country as well. So as without the bank, without us adding additional stress to you, we are offering the facilities, many of our facilities at no tangible collateral, just to scale the businesses. And also, of course, we have other digital tools that we say one of the key growth areas that we'll talk about today. We have our panel speakers that will talk to about this. I'm just here to, give some introduction as well. So, but also beyond lending as well, before the speakers come on, we also support SMEs with, we have other products, deposit products, digital solutions as well, that will make sure that you have the right structure. We also want SMEs to separate their personal business from their business financials, finances as well, so that your business is positioned to scale. We have various SME account products that is also important that you also do this to separate your personal from your business account. We have the light entry SME accounts for businesses that are still at their beginning stage, so that they can formalize their business. And as a bank, will also support you through this process to formalize your business with CSC and upgrade this from that initial basic accounts to other accounts, while of course retaining your account number, which is key for SMEs as well for continuity. We also have concessions for accounts for people that were rate sensitive. We have 0 AMC concessions, all of this to support our business. But today, it's really about the SMEs and how, as a bank, we have continued to support SMEs, and that's why we've been recognized the best SME bank in the two years consecutively now, and this is something that we take seriously. So today, apart from this webinar that we're hosting, it's also a special day. Jumoke, you didn't tell them. As a bank, today we mark 132 years of service, is 132 years of putting you first, supporting businesses and individuals and communities through generations of growth and change. So today's session is focused on AI and how we can apply it practically. So this is not something for big techs. I know that there are a lot of SMEs in this place, but what we're saying is that AI is not just about, some people think AI is about robots. It's not about robots. It's about how we can do this as well, and how we can use real life tools to improve efficiency, decision making, and growth. So please relax and engage actively when the Q&A session comes in. Share your perspective so that by the time you leave today, even if you are leaving with only one practical idea, information, we'll have achieved our goal. So once again, welcome and thank you for choosing to grow with us with First Bank and SME Connect. Back to you, Jumoke.
Thank you very much, Ibido. Thank you so much for your presentation. And I know that I know that some people might have been wondering that who is this? Who is this person that is really out all these empowerment initiatives that the First Bank do for our SMEs? It is no other than Ibido Adedewe, who is a chartered banker with 20 years experience in the banking industry. She currently serves as the head SME acquisition and partnership, where she is driving the scale up of the SME business through end-to-end digital through end-to-end digital documentation and innovative acquisition models designed to reduce friction. Prior to her role, she was the segment and value proposition manager, leading the development of targeted and compelling customer value proposition. She also served as pioneer head of Premium Services Unit, a virtual relationship management retail sales model that strengthened customer relationships and improved wallet share across micro SME and affluent segments. Our experience spans product management, customer experience, branch operations, sales and marketing, risk management and business strategy and execution. She holds MBA and MPA degrees and is a member of the Chartered Banker Institute of Nigeria and the UK. Thank you very much, Hybe. We are glad. I mean, this is many and more things that First Bank is doing, and we are glad that you are part of it, and we are glad that you are part of the one pushing these good things to our SMEs. Thank you for the presentation, Ivy. So right now, so that we do not waste so much of our time, I will go ahead to speak about our experts in the house today. We have Temi Odude here, who is a highly accomplished technology leader with over 14 years of experience spanning artificial intelligence, enterprise solutions, and digital transformation. He's currently a senior AI solutions architect engineer at Microsoft, where he partners with organizations to design and deploy scalable AI-driven solutions that solve complex business challenges and unlock measurable value. Prior to joining Microsoft, Temi built a distinguished career across channels, GIG Plus, Deep Syntax, Nigergram, a cross-border payment company, MFB, Canary Point Corporate Services, and Hadler Nigeria Limited, where he led high-impact initiatives at the intersections of technology, data, and strategy. His work has consistently helped organizations modernize operations, accelerate innovation, and make smarter, insight-led decisions. He had also provided technical insight and guidance as a consultant for Dun& and Bradstreet, Nigeria Institute of Quantity Surveyors, Calvary Creatives, Caleb's Group of Schools, to mention a few. Recognized for his ability to translate advanced AI concepts into practical, real-world outcomes, Temi is a trusted advisor to business and technical leaders alike. He is deeply passionate about leveraging AI responsibly to drive growth, efficiency, and inclusion innovation at scale. So please welcome with me Temi Odude, that will be giving us the expert insights that we need for our SMEs to be able to scale through AI in this period. Thank you very much, Temi. Over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jumoke. Thank you for having me on this webinar, and it's a privilege to share insights with a lot of people here on this platform, and helping businesses to grow, more scalably, leveraging AI and opportunities around AI as well. So I would, without taking much of our time, let's dive quickly into what we're here to do, and I'll be sharing my screen to that. What we are here to do is basically we're not going to go into so much of technical conversations, but rather what we are here to do is to um, bring down what we understand by AI to what we do on a day-to-day experience, right? So you will not hear us talk about so many technical languages, but what we want to do here is to bring this to what we can practically relate with day to day. All right. So, but before we start so that we can drive this home, I'm going to be introducing you to someone. His name is John, who runs a very small logistic company. And what he does basically is just what every other SME or business owner does. Again, trying to run lean with very little number of employee within the organization. You are the one who is managing um, your account. You are also the one responsible to do the business meetings, meet with potential customers, and a lot. So this is practically what John does, right, on a day to day. And you could see around him so many concerns from customer experience, customers requesting and saying no one did a follow up. There is no update regarding their logistics. The process is slow. And this is pretty much what we see, across entire SMEs, right? Again, it happens in diverse shapes and forms, not necessarily in the logistic. And we can relate this to what we do day to day. So what we want to do here practically is to set up the outcome of what we are here to do. We want to bring AI to a practical layer where we can all understand what it is. We want to show you how you can start immediately from where you are and basically have a starter plan where you can begin to leverage AI on what you do day to day. What AI does is, again, you could remember that I made mention of it, that for us as organizations or as SMEs, we run in a leaner operation. We want to be agile, and at the same time, speed matters because most importantly, we want to be sure that as we leverage businesses or we do businesses, we want to improve and begin to make more profit. More profit, and customers are at the center of our businesses, basically. And by the time we could spin up or we could improve our processes, we could improve how we engage with our customers, definitely this would have a whole lot of impact on how our business is run. And today, what we want to do with that is basically to see how AI can work across all processes within our SME businesses or within our business operations. And we want to make it simple. We want to bring it down. Again, from some of us will be conversant with how we probably leverage AI either at our different workspaces or at our individual way of life. Of course, it's something we do on a day-to-day, and most importantly, because we are not conversant to know how the backend run. Some of us would have seen or heard that maybe when you call a customer care service, after a human agent spoke with you, you get another robot or another human-like voice telling you, okay, please hang on, I'll be transferring you to a feedback where you can leave a feedback for us. Please press within for your number from 1 to 5, give us a feedback. These are AI processes behind the hood. Most times we may not be able to identify it until we experience it ourselves. And across these layers that you could see, these are where AI can actually help you in your business. You can draft proposals, you can summarize letters, you can analyze trends, you can plan campaigns. Again, for some of us who needs to bring our businesses to fore, understanding the fact that right now social media is here to help us do quite a lot of things. You want to understand how to layer your business into social media environment. You want to understand the keywords. You want to know how you can improve click back rates, follow back traces, and all that. These are some of the things you can use AI to leverage on. And then again, you have the decision processes where AI can help you leverage or make certain decisions to just help you, push things through much more faster. And then you can execute with AI. And that execution has gone beyond the normal chatbot that we know. And then you can improve how your business operates and how your business flow with it. And it's very important that we understand what AI is not, because we do understand that there is this belief system that when AI is out there, you can just sit back and probably not do anything at all. And it is very important that we should understand that there is an ethical side and there is a responsible side of using AI. And for this reason, we just highlighted a couple of things that I want us to take a look at. It is very vital that we do understand that AI can hallucinate facts. And before we begin to push out the responses or results of AI, it's very important that we verify the output as well. Just going through it to ensure that the responses or the result or the output meets with our exact way of how we want certain things to be. It could be your brand identity, it could be your tone, it could be anything. It could even be verification of the result as well before you push it out. And then it's very important as well that we start from where we are. It's not necessarily important that you have a big GPU sitting somewhere or you have a server sitting somewhere. These things are available for you to use at the tip of your fingers. And most importantly, it's the fact that you need to use AI very responsibly. When you're doing that, you need to be very certain the kind of information you're putting on it. Because again, as much as AI is very useful, it's very important that we should also understand that we have threat actors that are actually looking at every opportunity to look at the vulnerability side of AI to be able to get into people's data. Now, there are so many things we should demystify, basically, that we should demystify from how we understand certain things that AI does. Of course, we do believe that AI is meant for big firms. Apparently, the answer is a no. We've seen the fact that SMEs even benefit much more because SME do not need big infrastructures for them to be able to start making use of AI. And you don't necessarily need to be technical because most importantly, what AI uses right now is what we call prompts. And with those prompts, it's basically being able to understand that you know what exactly you're looking for and you can put it out in simple English. In fact, for people who are more of the communication side, who probably are very good with communication and they can land their thoughts. They are the ones who are really benefiting most times with AI right now, even more than the technical experts. And also importantly, AI is not expensive. There are lots of AI applications out there. Of course, you need to be very sure that your information is not being used to train any model, before you begin to start making use of them. And then it's not a standalone tool. You shouldn't treat it as a standalone tool. You should be able to begin to look at how you're going to incorporate it into your businesses. And you want to believe that AI can be fully trusted a whole 100%. The answer is a no. You still need to have that human oversight on it and ensure that you use it responsibly and ethically. And we will be talking briefly on how you can get started. And we broke down this into 4 major pipelines. You're going to start off with your assessment. You need to assess where you are, assess your pain point, and then begin to see how you can leverage AI on this process. And then you need to adopt it. Of course, adoption means that you must have been able to demystify so many concerns from your mind and then begin to start making use of it day to day. It shouldn't be something you start today, drop tomorrow. It must be something you do day on day. And then you begin to think about integrating it into your workflow processes, from your emails to your chats, to how you connect or communicate with people over your social media, building brands and all that. And then be able to now begin to measure your impact and how well you're scaling. And we've looked at so many areas, or basically most 5 major areas that we've seen that SMEs go through day to day. And part of these, where your customer sits in the middle of your business or within the center of your business, is the customer communication. Because again, how you communicate with your customer determines, the end result, your ROI, right? And we have also understood that as you move on day, you are creating more documentation, and you want your businesses to be stable. You want to ensure that you have continuity. We call it business continuity plan where if somebody leaves your organization, another person comes in, that shouldn't truncate the way your business is running. There should be an easy flow of how your business runs, end to end. Additionally, you want to have follow-ups and reminders on tasks, on payments, on so many things, across your entire organization. You want to understand trends, what is happening within the ecosystem of where your business plays, and then you want to make decisions. And these are basically areas where we know that it's very vital for SMEs to be able to begin to leverage AI. So what John did here was to start off with the three basic things that makes up a prompt. And the very first thing is understanding the role of how you want your AI, let me say, counterpart, right, to be able to work. And there's going to be a role play. And then you want to drive the goal. What exactly are you expecting when you begin to chat with your AI counterpart? And then you want to understand the constraints. These three things are very important because what the constraint does is it also helps you know exactly what level of information you can have or chat with, an agent about, right? And then, so what John did here was, because he does receive a whole lot of communication via WhatsApp, and he wants to know how best, or emails, he wants to know how best to be able to communicate back with the customer to maintain his brand identity and all that. So he did a role play and he told the AI to act like the operations or marketing assistant. And then he's saying, okay, you know what, look through this comment that this customer has made, and then draft, summarize, and make analysis. And then he now added some constraint to it to say, keep it in a Nigerian tone, make it short, and end with a question. So these are some of the things that John did, to be able to help land his thoughts, properly via an email or a communication channel with his customer, whether via social media or via email or WhatsApp. And we're going to take a look through all these use cases briefly, just to be able to break them down. And we've looked at the customer communication side, how you can layer agents on it, or AI or this, to do draft inquiry responses, follow up with your messages, de-escalate complaints, and then manage your tone as well. Additionally, we talked about the documentation side because we understand that every SME wants to grow their businesses. So it's very important that we manage, this pipeline end to end. And for that reason, you can begin to layer AI opportunities around, SOP, standard operational procedures, meeting notes, and quite a whole lot of them for your documentation. Then we also talked about revenue driving and follow-ups. And what you do here is you can use AI to manage your processes, all the way from when you contact, because of course we do understand that when you start off a deal, you have the lead and then you have the deal where you start off meeting up with the customer, you create that lead, and then when you land that business, it now becomes a deal. You can use AI to actually manage this process as well, from when you contact your customer to generating a quotation to following up with that customer and getting, reminders as well, and then closing that business completely. We also looked at your analysis, where you want to understand the trends, what exactly is happening within your business environment of where you play. You want to know how your competitors and what they are doing, how you compete with them. You can layer AI opportunities as well to be able to do research. For example, here at Microsoft, what we do is we have what we call a researcher that can help you deliver trends as far as it is available, globally on the internet. You can use your AI to see how competitors play within your business area, and then you can see areas where you can ask the AI to say, okay, what can you do more to improve the way your business operates, so that you can get more investors, you can improve your profits and all that. These are where AI also helps you to do that. I call it web crouching, to go through the internet, get resources, and bring those resources to you, where you can now begin to ask questions to say, where are the loopholes? What can you do better? and then you can take all this information all in and then make smarter decisions. And that brings us to the final use case where you need to make certain decisions, and we talked about that in the previous slide where we were identifying your market opportunities, how best can you do your businesses, to do much more better things in a very lesser time. Now, it's very important quickly that we also touch this, that you ensure that when you're using AI, you use it ethically, you use it responsibly, and you also have a human oversight on it. And what we've shown here is also to just share with you a brief pipeline where you can see how John here, uses AI to do his daily operations. An email comes in or he receives a chart, it creates a task from it with an AI. It generates a first version draft. It reviews it, which is very important. And that's why it's in the middle to say you must have a human oversight on this before you now start thinking of sending the response or the output to the customer. And then you can now begin to log this into your CRM. Again, we can't overemphasize this enough that AI should be used responsibly, understanding the fact that out there are so many personal identifiable information and details of your customers that you probably wouldn't want to share or wouldn't want to see out there. And it's very important that you must review these information before you share them externally. Again, when you're using certain prompts, you must be very careful what kind of information you put in your prompt. Don't take, again, I would say, don't take AI's responses as your final output. You must be able to share, confirm, review, before you now begin to pull this out with your customer. It's also very important that you identify areas of where you want AI to help you lift off heavy liftings and then give you access to be able to do much more things that is very important to you in business. And lastly, you need to use AI again very responsibly so that you can build trust. And finally here, before we now begin to wrap up, is to talk about how you can measure impact. You can measure impact based on looking through how your business has been doing up to the point where you can look at time saved, you can look at how well you've reduced errors, you can look at your response timing, you can also look at how your output has been, from end to end across the entire pipeline as well. And we have seen that across Nigeria, we have about more than 120,000 SMEs that could layer on opportunities of AI. The question here is, how well do you want to use AI to improve your business flow? We've seen a couple of these, and I'm just going to share this with us because, again, I know that on top of our mind, we'll be thinking, okay, I'm a small business. How can I start off? And we've seen these are Microsoft stories where we've given impact across the entire globe. For example, here in Kenya, we see a pharmacy called Zendawe who created an application for himself using AI to be able to track expiration dates of their drugs, right? And these have helped them, to drastically reduce having on shelf a whole lot of expired drugs over a long period in time. Of course, this would also impact, their revenue. And then we have Fastager as well, who had also used this to improve their cash flow here. And then we've seen this also happen abroad. We've seen this happen with Mike Moss Law Firm abroad as well, where they've saved tremendous time. And you can imagine something that took them about 3 hours to do, dropping it down to 15 minutes. And again, this is with the use of AI as well. So I just want to share with us how can we, get started. So this is like a 7-day startup plan where you can take a screenshot, you can keep for yourself, where how you can layer this within the 7-day 1-week process. The first thing, like I made mention of, is to ensure that you identify your pain points. Which areas do you think you want to improve your businesses? And then you begin with the adoption and the integration, where you now begin to use your prompt to begin to talk to the AI. You repeat these processes, you refine them, and then you begin to track results. This is where your impact measurement begins to come in. And then once you measure these impacts, you now begin to evaluate them and then you begin to scale. So my takeaway to you is for all of us as SMEs here rather, is to start small, start with where you are at. Ensure you try to embed these into your workflows, as best as you can. Don't take AI as an individual standalone application, embed it into your workflows and see how you can begin to measure impact across these as well. So thank you very much once again for having me, and over to you, Jimmy.
Thank you very much, Timmy. I mean, it's indeed it was an insightful session, and I like the use cases, the examples that you gave that brought out the point that it is something that we can do. It is not only for high tech companies, it is for our small, medium enterprises. It's for all of us. And I like the fact that you made it. I mean, you told us from the very beginning that AI can hallucinate. I love that. They can make errors, and we should not just believe everything that we see. We also should also put our eyes and ensure that they are giving the results that we want the way we want it. We are really happy to have you here. Thank you so much for this. So I want to tell our participants that you should not wait till the end of the session before you start putting in your questions. Please, the Q&A tab is there. Kindly just go there and let us start having your questions. I'm going to go ahead now to invite our second speaker that is going to be speaking in this session today. And please give me some few minutes. Let me share my screen so that we can go through his profile. Please don't forget to drop your Q&A, your questions. Let us start having them. We have a lot of time to really dabble into what your experiences are with AI and how maybe you want to really use it to scale your business. That is the reason for this edition. So please feel free to drop your questions. We are here, our experts are here that will be willing to answer you. I'm going to call on our next speaker right now. We have our next speaker is Olufemi Odumiboni, who is a seasoned product and digital platform management professional with over 20 years of experience spanning wholesale banking, retail banking, and e-business. Olufemi holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering. He is a Cisco Certified Network Associate, and he is a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, that's CIBN. Olufemi was also a member of the team that won the Best Digital Innovation Bank of the Year Award 2025 for the Lit app. I mean, these are part of the things that we do. These are part of the AI-enabled platforms that we have, not just for individuals, but also for SME. This particular award was conferred by the West Africa Innovation Awards. He also led the team to win the award of Most Profitable Product, that's the 894 Ash, and Most Innovative Department, that's Digital Channels, at the First Bank Merit Awards in 2022 and 2023. He's also a member of the internal faculty at First Academy School's First Bank, and he's currently the head online banking digital channels. Please give it up for Olufemi Odumiboni. Thank you so much, Olufemi, for being part of this session. Over to you now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me, everyone, and good morning. Thank you. So I'll just start by saying, at First Bank, we've taken time over the years to build no less than 19 digital platforms. And I like the way Temi has put it for us, so he set the context. So digitizing our platform is more like the bedrock, the ingredient, the foundation of which AI rides on. So all our manual processes, the physical processes we've had in the bank over the years, we've tried to digitize most of those experiences, right? So today we boast of having no less than 19 digital platforms. Whether you want to start with having an agent credit platform, a merchant credit platform, a USSD platform, a first online platform, a first mobile platform, a lead app platform, our bill aggregation platform, what we call BAP, or our first checkout platform, or our MPGS platform. We have so many of those platforms, right, that enables all our customers do a lot. For example, if you are an MSME on this call today, maybe all these micro, small, and medium scale enterprises, artisans, fashion designers, and all that, we've actually built a platform for you where we know that we can ride on algorithms that we've built to credit score you and give you loans. You don't have to have salary account with us. We just know that yes, we've run your history with us, and we are able to avail you different facilities. So that's something that is running on AI as well, because the machine learning works, the deep learning works, riding on data that you can feed in. If you go to merchant credit, so whether you are Med Plus or Foodco or ABAN or any, just name it, or SPA, we are able to provide a platform that runs for you. So I'll just dive deeply into some of the platforms that we've built. And I would like to start with our first online platform. Next slide, please. So our first online platform is typically to enable our SMEs process payments. So today, what we've even done is we've done an end-to-end account opening for single signatory SMEs, where you can see on this my slide, see, do you have an account? Open a First Bank account. So a single signatory SME can open a First Bank account end to end from within this internet banking platform. Once you just go to ibankonline.firstbanknigeria.com, you are able to see the interface. If you already have your details with us, you are able to put in your username or account and password, and you log in. But if you don't have, we're able to open an end-to-end account for you, single signatory. But in the current form, the multiple signatories will still have to go to the branch. But we're also working to digitize that experience, where a multiple signatory SME account do not need to visit any branch. Our focus is to have a fully digital bank where you can open multiple signatory accounts end to end, and you start operating it from the comfort of your home. That's what we are designing. Go to the next slide, please, on this first online. So what we've tried to do on this first online is to give you some overview of what we've done. So the digital account opening, and we're not stopping at that. We're also opening a mobile app version of that platform. So today our SMEs have told us that yes, they like your web platform, but they also want to have access to it on their mobile, where they can do a lot of transactions on their own. We have a lot of exporters around Shagamu, around Abeokuta, that will tell us that they export a lot and they move volumes of transaction. They want to have access to that internet banking on the web, on the app, and that's what we're also working on. Beyond that, we've of course enabled your internet banking platform to do your normal funds transfer, whether you want to do interbank or intrabank transfer, whether you want to schedule payment. By the way, in First Bank, we've enabled you to do bulk salary payment up to 500 records. So if you have employees of about 500, you create an Excel file, a CSV file, where you put those details in that Excel file, one debit, multiple credit, and those people get paid in an interval of 1 hour, because a batch job, and they all get paid that same day. That is massive in what we've tried to do. We've also done scheduled standing order instruction, where you say, I don't even want to be doing this. I want to be making payment to some people on so date, maybe on the 24th of every month. You can schedule that payment and it goes. You can also do your bill payment, your typical airtime from within this platform. What have we also done? We've also done the digital loan scheme, where today before now our SMEs will have to go to their branch to request for a loan, whether it's invoice discounting, whether it's first trader solution, whether it's retail TOD. But today you can access all those loans from within the platform itself. Okay, and we're also enabling more of those other SME loan on this platform. We are reimagining a fully digital bank, where you do not have to have any interface with any branch. Beyond that, we've enabled this platform for so many self-service. You want to increase your limit to 50 million, to 100 million. You do not need to call anybody. We've enabled you to be able to do it from within the platform. You can set your profile management, say, okay, let me create sub-users. I want my accountant to have this privilege. I want him to have this profile. You're able to do that. We're also working with our own AI-driven chatbot, Fibani, to enable it on the platform where they are able to respond to your chats, your customer complaints and feedback and things like that. We also have what we've just created, a PAPS, a Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, where you can move money. And please go to the next slide so that we can show it. Go to the next slide, Jumoke. Hello, Jumoke. Yeah, so this is on the platform of the new internet banking. You can see remittance here after scheduled payment. Under remittance, you see PAPS. What this means is that you can send money from your Naira account here, and imagine you have your son in Ghana that is schooling, and you want to send like equivalent of $2,000 to the person. We will debit your Naira account from here, okay, because I will debit you at official rate, okay, and credit your son in Ghana using the PAPS rail that we've designed there. So it's something we'll have, and we are enabling these platforms for so much more. We are enabling it for inventory management. We are enabling it for stock reorder level. We are enabling it for payroll for more than 500 records. We are enabling it for different other things where you do not have to leave any of this platform to do anything. Just stay on here, and the member countries in this PAPS system is where you can transfer money to, whether it's Ghana or Sierra Leone or Liberia or Guinea or Gambia. You can move money from within. So that's what we've done here, and the list goes on. So let's move on to the next slide. Apart from this internet banking platform, that is one platform that we think our customers will love. Another platform, I told you we have about 19 different platforms solely to support SMEs. And because if you are on these different 19 platforms, it means that you already have the ingredients where our AI systems feed in. Already in the current form, your data is being, we're using our machine learning, our deep learning to already profile and say, okay, this is how we work to support your system. On our First Money Merchant Wallet platform, this is a platform that has 3 interfaces. So you have the customer wallet platform, this is First Money, you have the agent platform, and you have the merchant platform. So this is the platform that we enable digital onboarding, whether you're new or you're existing. We can onboard you within 24 hours. You get onboarded on our platform. There is this thing we call instant settlement to your wallet system. So somebody have paid you, you see the money instantly, you get alert instantly when you sign up to our wallet platform. We have configured it for multi-channel offering. We can offer you on the mobile, which is what we call rapid. We can offer you on POS, and we also have the web portal for you to use. We've also done what we call dynamic menu for flexible product and service listing. What that dynamic menu does for us is to say, if I want, as a POS merchant, if I want to just receive card transactions only, we can configure it for you. Or you want to do card and transfer service on it, we can configure it for you. So that's what we mean by dynamic menu. It's so flexible. We have what we call complaints management system as well, where you can log your complaints and it will be tracked and it will be resolved from within the platform. What we've also done is a flexible merchant service charge. Today, industry regulation allows us to charge 0.5% of transaction amount capped at 1,000. But as a friendly bank, we're only charging you 100 naira, and we are bearing the maximum of 900 naira on your behalf, just to make sure that we are supporting your business. So we are saying we can empower you with our First Bank POS terminal just to compete as well in the industry. And when you have this, our POS platform, then that is magic that you're holding on your hand. Next slide. This next slide is talking about our first checkout, our consolidated payment gateway service, where we have given you different payment options, right? So at checkout, so your customers have gone to your portal to make purchases for something, just as you do on Jumia or Konga or Temu, and you want to check out. we are giving you multiple options to check out with. Do you want to check out by paying with your card? Okay. Do you want to check out by paying with your account? Do you want to check out by paying with QR, our quick response code? Do you want to check out by paying with our USSD code? Do you want to check out by paying with wallet? You want to check out by paying with, even if you don't have money, we've also enabled the buy now, pay later. You're saying, so I have bought something of 50,000, there's a sneaker of 80,000 I've bought, but I don't have money. Well, we've also partnered with our vendors to provide buy now, pay later service. So you can check out with multiple options. You can check out with e-Naira, that is CBN enabled, that digital currency. So we have all these payment gateway to support our businesses, to support you, our customers, so that you are not lacking anything. And this is how we continue to provide service to you. Next slide. So what we've also done, next slide again, so that I can just tell, next slide first. Yeah, so what we've also done is to say our NQR, this is the NIPS QR. So remember during COVID times where people could not touch anything, this is like contactless payments, okay, where you are able to, your customer is able to pay a merchant, okay, by scanning a QR. There is a decal in front of the merchant, whether it's a static QR or a dynamic QR. You are able to scan that thing using your mobile app, okay, without having to have any POS terminal, and you're able to make payments. Customers, your retail customers are able to make payment to you, as you can see the way we've described this on the system, so that you are really empowered to focus on strategic thing about running your business. So next slide, please. So this is just speaking generally to how you can access it even from the mobile app and things like that. Next slide. The same thing. Next slide. Just giving you the process flow so I don't bore you. So we also have our card variant. So for some customers, we've tried to limit it to the typical card that you may want to use, what we call our Naira credit card, for typically the mass market or the single signatory, the Instagram SMEs that you have. We also have the Visa Gold that is tailored towards the mid-tier customers. Okay, next slide, so that we can just show you the different features of this card. For the Naira credit card, we are saying that a customer, okay, single signatory, a sole proprietorship customer, can enjoy up to about 3 million Naira on our credit card. Of course, the interest rate is 2.5% monthly on the unutilized amount. And there are ways that if you return it, because we have a 45 days grace period, if you use it and you return it within the 45 days grace period, we don't even charge you anything. So it's zero charge. Okay, and this is an opportunity to just have access to credit without paying anything. But if you use, say, we give you 3 million Naira limit on your card and use 1.8 million, it then means we are going to charge you on that we are going to charge you on the amount that you've utilized on the 1.8. We are not going to charge you on the entire 3 million Naira. So that's the big deal in that thing. And of course, with this typical card, it costs you 1,000 Naira for issuing. And of course, at the end of the month, there is an insurance fee of 1% on the outstanding balance, so to speak. It's free to be used on the web and POS, but of course, at ATM, we charge you 3% of what you've withdrawn. And these are the daily limits that we've put. As a platinum NCC holder, you can withdraw up to 100,000 using the ATM. On POS, you can make purchases up to 2.5 million. On the web as well, you can make purchases up to 2.5 million. So that's our Naira credit card. And a lot of our SMEs are really enjoying this. They are using it as a bridging finance facility to help their businesses. Okay. So next slide here. So on the Visa Gold, this is more of the dollar denominated one where people can have access to our credit cards with credit variance of up to 10,000 USD. Okay. And we have similar thing. They can withdraw up to $1,000, okay, daily limits on the ATM. They can make transactions up to $10,000 on POS and about 5,000 on web. I mean, so we have this, the annual fee on this card is about $10, and our customers will continue to to enjoy it. We've tried to showcase this. We have so many other products, but just to say the few ones that we think you might need. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just telling us about the Visa Gold discount partners that we've partnered with, where you are able to use any of this your card and still enjoy discounts. Okay, and whether you go to Visa Luxury Hotel or Booking.com, you are able, because we partner with these vendors, these companies, these strategic players to give you discounts whenever you use our First Bank cards. Next slide, please. Yeah, so in summary, I'm just trying to wrap up with this particular slide because so that we don't bore you and we'll now take Q&A. So what we are trying to say is the more data we have about you because you use our platforms to transact, because you use our platforms to operate your business, the more information we have about you and the more our AI is able to provide data-driven insights. Already today, like I gave the example of our first credit platform, where people that don't even have salary account with us, just because they are typical everyday, like an Okada rider, is he puts in 10,000 proceeds from whatever sales he has made for the day. The next day, he puts in 5,000. Our AI is able to generate, run the data, and say, oh, this person is good for this amount of money. The same way we've done for our merchants, same way we've done for our agents. So this is how everything comes in together. So you have a consolidated system. I can see from a platform, we're seeing how much you're able to get from POS, how much just a simulation of how much you're able to get from the online platform, how much was transfers. So we have a consolidated platform where you can monitor so many of the things. If I would like to close as well on what we call our bill aggregation platform that I talked about. So today we've onboarded so many billers on our platform where your customers can make payments for whether it's for internet services or whether it's for tithes or government collections, whatever it is, we're able to support our customers using those platforms. So whatever AI tool you use, the bank is available to support you. And today, as a bank, okay, we already, as even an entity, we are using the co-pilot as well to be able to engage different. We can ask different customers, we can ask different questions, you can prompt it to do anything and is able to support you. So also is an SME out there where you're able to tell your AI to do. And regardless of whether it's AI you're using, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Notion AI, whether it is Grok, whether it is DeepSeek, whatever, whether it's Gemini, any AI that you're used to or you're comfortable with, just be free to continue to use it. But a lot of us use Copilot in this environment powered by Microsoft, and we're getting significant value. I think I'll stop there and we'll take questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Femi. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was indeed insightful. I mean, we see that First Bank is doing quite a lot of things in the area of AI, a lot of platforms that we have that are enabled by AI to help us to deliver good service to our SMEs and other customers. Thank you so much. And thank you also, Temi. So right now we are going to start the plenary session where all the questions that we have on our Q&A chats, we'll start showing them out for our panelists here. And also, I would also want to say right here that very soon a poll will be on your screen. We want our customers, we want our SMEs that join this session to please answer. We want to see if you have been listening and if you've been able to take one or two things even away from the presentation we've made so far. I usually say that this period is a time for us to really express ourselves and ask questions that will specifically, touch our business, specifically help us. So please, if you've not dropped your questions, this is the right time for us to drop it now so that we are able to diagnose and help you to get the desired skill that you need for your business right now, of course, through AI. So thank you again, our speakers. Thank you, Olufemi. Thank you, Temi. Thank you so much. I think I have the first question here from Dr. Ayodele Ojo. The first one says, how can AI manage my chats? have I seen that? I have seen that on Alibaba. How can I use AI for marketing, particularly for online marketing through the social media? Are there experts who can do this for me at a moderate price? This is a question from Dr. Ayodele, but I also want to add one or two more so that Temi, please, this is for you, so that when you're answering, you will be able to answer, so that we're able to touch on almost all these questions today, if not everything. There's another question that says, can you talk about the different AI tools we can use, I believe, for their businesses, if you can give options? This question came from Damilare. From Debbie, we have, how do you incorporate AI into a new business? So I have three questions for you, Timmy. I have the one that talks about how to use AI for marketing, and also how AI can manage chats. And I have the one from Damilare that is talking about the different AI tools that SMEs can use, and also from Debbie that is talking about how to incorporate AI into businesses. Thank you very much. Over to you, Timmy.
All right, thank you so much, Jumoke. Okay, so I think I'm going to be very straight and direct, Dr. Ayo. So for AI in charts, I think there are quite a couple of questions I would probably want to ask you, and it depends on however you're looking at it. So if you have a website, for example, and maybe you want to layer AI on it, yes, you can do that. You can have that happen end to end. Of course, we see it happen with chatbots, right? Again, prior to now, the generic chatbots that we know, but there is quite a whole lot more that happens, that could happen, let me put it that way, behind the hood. So you can imagine that you're running, maybe just give an example, like we're using John's logistic company as an example now, and somebody's chatting up and is asking specific questions. You can take that information and route it through some knowledge sources and make and go to an extent where if those questions are not in the knowledge sources, it can escalate to you, maybe via an email or something. These are more than just what the generic chatbot that we know used to do, right? So we can, you can layer AI, agents or opportunities around that as well, coming through your website environment. And then if it's just a basic chat, for example, we do know that in WhatsApp, for example, if you have WhatsApp business, you could see the Meta AI that is also connected with it that you can use to do, quite a lot and respond to, chats and all that you have through your WhatsApp. So these are also areas you can layer on if it's direct chat or if you're coming through your website to your business, right? And then your second question was talking about using AI for marketing, particularly for online marketing through social media. So let me answer your question also this way. There are some hubs, let me put it that way, application hubs, for example, Hootsuite, for example, a couple of them that harmonizes, different social media together, right? And on those layers, well, you can have AI leverage or connected to some of these application hubs, right? So these are also opportunities you can, go through if you want to connect them directly to your social media handle, business social media handle, where they can help you answer certain questions. And if the AI that you've connected there or integrated to some of these application hubs do have extra workflows, you can have those extra workflows layered. But if it's to basically get these responses and then be able to just give insight, right, on how you can respond, right? There are quite a lot of numbers of them out there. We have Copilot that is also mobile friendly that you can also layer on and the like. So you can use some of these to get insight first and then, be able to copy those responses so that you can maintain your brand tone and everything. And then you can sound more professional when you are answering some of these questions. I don't know whether that answers the question. And then we have different AI tools. To Damilare's question, he was asking about different kind of AI tools that we could use to get this work done. Well, there are quite a lot of them, but again, from our own viewpoint here at Microsoft, of course, we do have Copilot that is comes with your suits if you buy, for example, the Microsoft suits and all that. And there are quite a lot of them out there. But one beautiful thing we also need to, or we say to our customers as well, is that we do understand that every individual or every organization or everybody has their different kind of LLMs, large language models, that they probably love to interact with. And that's what Microsoft have done to also allow you to be able to switch in between different kind of large language models that you probably want to use, with Copilot to be able to do so many things. So yes, you have quite a lot of AI tools out there that you can actually maximize for your business, right? And again, it's also dependent. Let me also add this to it. It's also dependent on your kind of business, right? Some people are in the creative, some are in the marketing, some are in the logistics, some are in, different kinds. So it depends on what exactly you're looking for. And when we're talking about it, if you remember earlier, I talked about assessment. So you need to also understand where within your business you want to begin to layer AI to be able to help you do so many of these heavy liftings. And I think that answer actually also give response as well to Debbie's question to say that how can you incorporate AI into new businesses? You see, the point of assessment is very critical in whatever or however you want to layer AI in your business, because you need to dissect it first and be able to understand where exactly is your business lagging, right? That, okay, maybe, for example, you need to do specific things and maybe you're looking at the overhead expenses to get an expert to do it. And maybe you just want to layer those AI on those heavy liftings and then give you the response and you can make a decision from there, right? These are areas where you can also layer agents. Or if you look at where maybe it's affecting your response time or turnaround average handling time of the customer's response or something, you can also do that and then begin to layer AI. So where am I going to with that statement is that assessment is very key, because it's until you assess that you can now make decisions on where exactly you want to layer AI. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Timmy. In fact, the last when you were talking about the different businesses that we have, is what you said is going to lead me to like three questions that I have here. People want you to tell them the kind of AI they can use for their business. I have someone here, this Alao Sulaiman. Please, I want to know how AI can help in my backyard poultry setup. Another one says that I have a provision shop. How can AI help me, considering the fact that AI is expensive and I have minimal returns from my business? I also have one that talks about what are the AI applications we can use to run analysis and aid our businesses. Okay, another provision shop. I am into provision. Niyi Adeshola is saying, I am into provision shop. How can I deploy AI to monitor my purchases, my sales daily? So please help us to answer. Okay, there's another one about agriculture that says that he has agric business and he wants to know how we can use AI. Thank you, Timmy. Over to you again.
All right, thank you, Jumoke. I think it's interesting hearing these questions, honestly. So let me start because I think we have two similar questions from people who run provision stores. Um, and I'm going to be very practical, right? Um, there's different sides to when we run, a provision store, from the point where we are purchasing and we are filling in the stock, to the point where we are selling, to the point where, again, as funny as it may sound, feedback as well, because of course, the idea here is we want to grow, we want to see how our businesses begin to improve, and then we want to scale it up. But let me start from the grassroots, where you want to stock your store, with provisions. Now, first thing, you would agree with me that before you go to buy certain things, you need to make a list of them. And then when you of them, you're putting the cost implication to it, you're putting how much you are selling them and all that. As again, I'm bringing this to the grassroots, right? Now, as minute as Excel. So if you buy, let's say, for example, you have the Microsoft Excel, right? You have the Copilot option in it. So you can also put all these items into your Excel sheet, put your purchase value there, put your sales value there. If you even have, as funny as it sounds, even if you have what's it called? help me now, expiry date on all of these things, right? Because if it's looking at your kind of store, it could be the medium, average, or large store, right? You can have also those expiration dates, alongside with each of these items. And then you can layer Copilot to ask questions to even say that, looking at what you've sold, can it do the mathematics for you, tell you what your profit is? I'm looking at your stock, the ones you've sold quickly, which, questions like which other items move faster, within your store that you can even buy much more with, right? Now, it's beautiful enough that, again, for example, I'm coming from the Microsoft perspective. If you have the Microsoft environment, you have a OneDrive. So let's say you have a sales boy or girl, at your store. You can create that Excel sheet. They keep, feeding up that Excel sheet. You are seated in your house. All you are just doing is you're talking with the co-pilot to say, tell me how many things they've sold today. And it's giving you those real down, right? Without you having to personally be in the store. And you can even see, again, depending on how far you want to go, because we understand that we want to start small and then we want to improve and increase it as we go, right? And you can get to a point where you have those barcodes, right? Those barcode scanners, you can, just like the supermarkets do, you can also have these scan those your items, put them into an Excel sheet automatically. As you sell them out and you check them out as well, it automatically does the the calculations, remove them from your store, give you your balances and all that. So we can, depending on where we are at, right? There are different sides to it. For the smaller volume of stock, you can use a simple Excel and then begin to populate. And you can begin to ask questions from your co-pilot to be able to do specific things to that, right? So these are areas, that you can begin to layer for your provision store, for example.
A question here from Olabode was asking what the AI-enabled digital channels what AI-enabled digital channels and tools does First Bank already have that SMEs can start using now? So they're asking about what they can start using now, that is AI driven, that we already have in First Bank.
So hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Can
can.
you repeat
Thank
the
you.
question again? What AI enabled what? Digital? Because I
What
didn't hear
AI-enabled digital channels or tools does First Bank already have that SMEs can start using today? I know you mentioned it during your presentation, but I mean,
Oh,
for
okay,
emphasis
okay.
sake, this person has requested. Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. And thanks, Bode, for that question. So in First Bank, like I said, and let's try and demystify something. AI itself is not or digitization is not AI itself. What digitization does is, like, let me put it this way, is like gathering the ingredients, right? Why AI is the master chef that now cooks the food, right? If you understand the analogy from that way, you know that what we've done as a bank is to provide those foundations for what AI then does for us. So if you take, for example, our First Credit, our First Credit is a platform where we're able to avail credit facilities to non-salary earners. Before now, a non-salary earner or an SME or an MSME wouldn't have had chance to take a facility from the bank without having to say collateral and all that. So what we built is riding on our credit scoring algorithm, which is AI driven, right? To say, yes, we've profiled you, we've seen your daily inflows into the account, we've seen how you've managed your cash flows over time. When we suggest and say we could support your business with, say, 50,000, okay, and you can take it if you like. So that's a tool that we are rounding on based on the platforms we have, and we already have those credit scoring algorithm. Remember that AI, a branch of AI, is what we call machine learning or deep learning that rides heavily on data. So we have customers' data based on your transactional data, okay, based on what you do, and we're able to pull it from our core banking applications and develop solutions for you. So today we have platforms like that First Credit I talked about. We have platforms like like merchant credit platforms where we're able to give loans to our merchants. We have credit and platform for agent credit where we're able to support our agents on the field running POS businesses. We have platforms like we talked about that gives loan even to salary and first advance. So these are platforms that we even support our people. And even within the internet banking platform, an average SME can apply for loan, of course, because there is a data lake somewhere that we are pulling within the system and is able to suggest and say, this is the facility that you really like to you be able to take, and we can then give you that money. So it's all this credit scoring algorithm, and it's just like typical a FICO score in US, where you say your credit score is 600 or 800 and they can then avail you. Those things are riding on machine learning, they're riding on AI that is able to suggest and say, this is the kind of facilities you have. So don't see AI as this thing. See all what you're doing as the necessary ingredient that AI then fits on and you can suggest. But on a personal note, people have different AI. Even on the WhatsApp business that Temi was talking about. So today on WhatsApp, you can, to even increase chat volumes, you can have a tool like ManyChat. And by the way, the free version is there up to about 1,000 chats. But once you start to do above 1,000 chats, it start to charge you like $15 per month. You could have Wati. Wati is significantly higher than that. For up to 10,000 chats, you can start to pay like $20 to $25 per month. The same way with Interact. So these are platforms, that are AI tools that people can use to begin. And you can begin to tell it, manage my inventory, manage my chats, manage my customer orders, manage this, and suggest different things for you. Okay, so those are kind of specific tools that customers can use today to manage their day-to-day business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Femi. Thank you so much for that, for answering that question. And I mean, now we know that First Bank has quite a number of platforms that are AI enabled, just for us, just to give customers the necessary help and I mean to make banking seamless with us. Temi, glad you are back now.
Thank
Do you
you.
want to finish your thoughts on the
Yes.
last question? Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just wrap up. So for the backyard poll 3, AI is there to help you. And I see Priye making a statement on the chat, which is very vital to say we also need to, first of all, educate ourselves with what this AI is, right? It's not, don't see it as a tool, see it as your digital twin, right? Just imagine how much you know, right? And then layering it also with the help of an agent. So imagine two people of your same knowledge with your experience together in a room, right? And imagine how far you can go with that. So for the person who is doing a backyard poultry, right? AI has also helped you too. So for example, you go on the internet and you want to ask questions like, I noticed that my maybe birds are not, they are not feeding so well, or they look weak or something, right? The AI can help you, get responses faster, curating through different websites or different information on the web, and then giving you responses and answers to how you can quickly attend to these things. And then you can also use this to begin to track what you're getting. For example, as minute as over a 6 week period in time, what is the weight of your birds, how are they faring, those information put together in a place can also help you begin to build up your own what's it called, data set, where you can now begin to layer back on and then be able to get instances and then more better insights. Because of course, once you do it quite well and you can keep those data together in a single store, maybe on OneDrive or whatever, you can now begin to get more insights from that particular point and then be able to do better when you're beginning to, do your poultries and all that. And then that would also help you to also track how much you're buying them, those chick and then how much you're selling them, you know, so you can use that to also begin to layer into even accounting to know, okay, what is your profit rate like? You know, how are you doing with your businesses and all that? And you can begin to do this again without you even manually having to even get an accountant, right? So the AIs can help you be your accountant and help you do certain heavy liftings without you necessarily going through the mathematics as well. And then for the agricultural business, there's quite a lot that you can do around that. Because again, for agriculture business, it spans across different kind of businesses within agriculture, right? But as deep as it can get, you can even take now where AI has gotten to is you can see a symptom on your plant or something, and then you can take a picture and you can scan it and you get the responses immediately to know what exactly is happening, what kind of diseases, what you can do, and all that. You know, what kind of fertilizers, how can you improve your sales on your agricultural products and all that. So you can use AI on so many of these areas. Again, the question is how far and how deep do you want to go? Thank you.
Thank you so much. How far and how deep do you want to go? So, Timmy, what you are telling us is depending on how far you want to go, the AI is able to support you. Depending on how deep, AI is there to
Absolutely.
support. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Thank you so much. So, there's another question here. Um, okay, I think this will go. Ibidun will help us with this question. Rotimi Amusa says, how can First Bank assisting an employee that have a full experience in fast foods over 25 years but unable to start on his own? This question is about how can First Bank assist someone that has a fast food joint over 25 years but is unable to start on his own. And I have another one that is like it. This is from Ngozi. She says micro enterprises are not covered here and they make up the vast majority of businesses and employment in Nigeria. How can this important group, micro businesses, receive this much needed beneficial attention? Ibidun, please help us with this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jumoke, and then thank you so much, Rotimi, for the question. So from what I hear, Rotimi is an employee in an office, and the business is in fast food, and he wants to then move out on his own to start that business independently. So, at First Bank, we can assist you as an employee to actually start your own business. We can start from our financial empowerment, where we are actually offering access to tailored SME loans where you can set up your business. We have various SME loans that can use with flexible repayments that we can use. But also for you to even start the business itself, you need structure and support with our capacity building programs. So something like this and other ones that we offer to our SMEs is what I would recommend for Rotimi as well. So we have capacity building programs that offer mentorship, advisory services and trainings for SMEs so that they can actually plan their business and structure it. One of the things we advise SMEs is that, actually the starter ones, that you start by separating your business account from your personal account. It's one of the things that will actually make sure that you're disciplined and you can streamline your operations. So would part of the programs that we'll have is would guide you on those advisory services. We have relationship managers in all our branches, SME dedicated managers that would also advise you on this. So I would say separate your business from your personal account. In my earlier introduction, I mentioned that we have accounts that are even for SMEs that are not formal yet. So you may not have registered your business like the business you have been working for 25 years, but you want to start off, you're not registered with CAC yet. We have a SME account package, SME basic, that you can start off with, and you start opening your operating the accounts in bits. As you're transacting more, you begin to build transaction history, and with that you can even get more facilities as well. But we also guide you on how you would continue to grow and formalize your business and structure your business so that it now becomes sustainable as well. There are other things where I would say that can connect you to some other people. We have partners that help SMEs depending on the type of things you are looking at. And of course, I mentioned finance as well, which is key. If you want to buy some assets, you want to set up your business, we would also be doing that. So for the combination of, I think, finance, the training, and the support, you'll be able to start your own business and become an independent business as well. I'll move to Ngozi. I didn't catch the surname. She mentioned that MSMEs are not included in this discussion. And the truth is, just like you admitted, MSMEs are actually the majority of businesses in Nigeria, and it's a key focus for us in First Bank. In fact, I mentioned it in my opening speech that one of the key things that we do is to actually segment our SMEs because we want them to grow, and we'll guide them through the entire process so that you can start off as an MSME today, but tomorrow you are now a fully independent business, where ones that we call small and medium businesses as well. So for us, the micro businesses, we're not excluding for this focus. You are key, and that's why we have the key strategy to get you into our SME ecosystem, and we'll graduate you and continue to include in all the various business growth stages that we have. Today, for instance, you got this invite even as an MSME because we want you to actually go through the process. So from the simple low barrier products that we had mentioned earlier, we would say that take the SME basic, run your account in bit. We have first credit for instant account instant facilities. We're coming up with merchant credits now. If you have, take up our POS solutions. If you have we also advise that you take our digital channels. If you have our first online, which we have a mobile version already out now, you can continue to actually structure your transactions, monitor your transaction on the digital channels. And as long as you continue to pass your transactions more, you see that you will continue to build your transactions and you have access to more credits as you transact. So this is key for us, Ngozi. So we want you to, and the bank would support you through this process of formalizing and even getting more complex SME products. And our platform here, SMEConnect, and the programs that we run would also continue to give you insights and information, and of course digital tools that you need that will support you to grow. So whether it's on record keeping or things that will make you grow and formalize, we will do that. So it's key for us, Ngozi, and stay tuned. You'll continue to get more of this because we support MSMEs. They are key and they're the majority of businesses, just as you said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibidu. Thank you so much for your response. I want to go to Temi again. Temi, people really mean you today. I don't know when we are going to close today with all these questions, or probably we are going to close with this one because we have so many questions. But let me bundle three together. Then please just answer as fast as you can. The first one is saying, how do I know that I am AI ready? Is it everybody that must use AI? The second one is saying that as an SME owner, what are the best first steps that I can use to adopt AI? What do I need to do in the next 7 to 14 days? And the last one is saying that are there any type of business where AI is not useful? For example, businesses that have to do with buying and selling. How can AI be used for this? Over to you, Temi. Please, as fast as you can.
Okay, so I'm going to be very brief with this. So the first question is saying, how do I know if I'm AI ready? Okay, so again, I talked about this earlier. The assessment is very key. And I think how you will get to know is just one simple thing. Do you have a pain point in your business? Now, if you can identify you have a pain point in your business, and you can see as well that um, you need, again, your resources to be able to get professionals to help you, because I know this is some of the things that SME faces, getting professionals to be able to come on board and help them as well, looking at the overhead cost and all that. So once you can understand that there are pain points in your business that you probably need professionals to solve, and you don't have access to those professionals, then I think it's a nudge to tell you that, again, you can layer AI to begin to run those things. Now, it's not that you don't need human, again, like I said, it's not that you don't need human insight on so many things, but the heavy liftings that you need to do, you can get AI to do it for. So let's imagine that quickly, and I'm going to wrap up with that. So let's imagine that I come to you, you are a tax auditor, and then I'm coming to you with a 6-year plan of whatever my company had sold, and I'm asking you, please help me create, a tax record, and how much do I have to pay and all that, right? Definitely, you have to charge me, even if I'm your friend. But if I come to you and I tell you, okay, you know what, I've been able to look at all these things together through my account, and I've been able to create this. Okay, can you help me look through this response or this output to confirm that it actually aligns with whatever it is, at that point, even if I'm going to charge you, the heavy liftings have been done. And then I'm just coming in to help you layer that human oversight on it. So I think these are some of the things you need to check to be able to know if you actually need AI. And then secondly, to latch on that is that for you to know, to ask if you are AI ready, the question is, have you demystified certain things about AI in your mind? So if you've done that, then I think you are good to go. You can start layering AI on your SME businesses that you do. And then another person asked the questions to say, as an SME owner, what are the next steps I need to do within 7 to 14 days? Well, I think I shared like a 7-day plan with you. And those processes, you just need to, they are repeatable processes actually. From the point where you're assessing, again, you are now to the last point where you are measuring impact. It's the same thing, because at the end of the day, when you measure the impact and you still see the gaps, you are going back to the beginning again to assess where the gaps are, and then beginning to layer AI on it, and then this time around closing up those gaps more better, and then be able to get more results. So you are doing that from the beginning where you are doing your assessment to the point where you are doing the impact, and then you are scaling up. So it's a cyclic process. And then the last question I heard in there was, are there any types of businesses AI is not useful, e.g. buying and selling? I think the question I would also ask with is this: are there any businesses that is not customer centric? Because even if you are buying and selling, you are still having customers within, which is the center of why you are kicking off a business. You are delivering a need to someone. And at that layer, because you are delivering a need, every human being that you are interacting with have different needs, have different expectations, have different insights. In fact, as funny as even you are selling a bag or shoes, right? You can create a simple form, and when you've sold to someone, you can create a simple form and send to them and say, give us your feedback. Tell us the shoes you bought. How did we attend to you? How was the how did you enjoy the shoes? How solid was it? Those are how you now begin to build your data, and then you can now begin to layer AI on it to now begin to get more insight to say, okay, I sold them. In fact, as funny as it sounds, you can even begin to look at the sizes you sell the most. Like for example, you have maybe size 10 to size 15, and size 15 is moving faster. You know what exactly you want to stock next. So I do not see a place where AI is not actually useful. The question is, do you have customers you're attending to? If the answer is yes, then AI is definitely useful to you at any point along the pipeline. Over to you, Jumoke.
Okay, thank you very much, Timmy. Thank you so much. So what you are telling us right now is that AI is for every business, as long as you are attending to one customer or the other.
Absolutely. Yes. You heard
Fantastic.
that.
So you've heard Timmy, our expert here, all businesses, all SMEs, medium, small, tiny, micro, nano, all AI is useful for all, and I mean it's only good that after this session we all go out there to see how we can really embed AI into our businesses so that we're able to scale, we're able to expand, we're able to be better than where we are right now. Thank you so much, Temi. I can see Abednego. I wanted to confirm is Abednego is able to speak now. Olufemi had to step in. Unfortunately, Abednego had one or two, clashing events that he had to attend. But I believe he's here now and we would love to hear from you, sir, before we end the session today. Okpoluwa, please kindly go ahead with the poll. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jumoke, and thanks everyone for joining this session. Very sincere apologies. I'm in a session, another session. My background may be noisy, but I just felt the need to connect and to really apologize for not being there early to take my my session. I really appreciate all of our customers and partners who have joined this session. A couple of questions that we're not able to get to. I've been reading through the Q&A panel and really looking out for those questions. For some of the product-related ones, we're going to take notes and we will walk through our relationship managers to engage you to provide clarity, on a number of those areas. Something that you just need to be assured of is that as your bank, we are leveraging AI to do a whole lot of things, right? We are securing your transactions using AI. We have a behavioral monitoring system that is constantly looking at the transaction data and ensuring that we're able to flag, transactions when we suspect that it might not be you transacting. So that is one area that we are leveraging AI very effectively. Of course, a number of our products and channels, we are embedding AI in them, to drive personalization of your experience, to help put power in your hands so that you're able to, choose how you want to use the platform. In the session, I saw one, in the question and answer panel, I saw one question around some of our channels that are prompting you for passwords or PIN. Just be assured that what we're building now and leveraging AI is really to put power in your hands. So you're going to have a situation where very soon you could access some of our channels, even without a PIN if you decide to, right? So you're going to be able to set up how you want to log in, whether you want a password to log in or not, and those capabilities are being made possible via AI. I would just advise every business to really start using it. That's the best way, to get to understand the value you can get from it. Is really to start now. Just start with simple things, right? It could be that, it helps you with generating the SMS messages you send to your customers, right? If you have customers that you communicate with, right? It could be as simple as just, helping you draft, contracts, right? Some of you sign agreements with other people and you need to go and look for a lawyer who will draft the contract for you and all that. The very initial ones could just be drafted, by an AI, right? So just get started, get to start using it. Use the free ones so you can get comfortable before you go and pay, right? Because it's something that is already here. It's something that all of us ultimately would have to use, right? And it's something that helps you augment your businesses, help you control cost, help you drive operational efficiency essentially. So thank you so much to everyone. Very sincere apologies I wasn't able to join earlier. Very sincere apologies. My background is still very noisy, right? But please enjoy the rest of your day as we conclude this session. And hopefully in the future, in the next ones, I'll have an opportunity to start off with you and be able to, share some of the other exciting things that we're doing in the different areas of our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We are glad that you were able to make it. That is it, participants. We are so glad that you were able to make today, and I'm glad that we have all learned one or two things today. Is it no matter your business, AI is there to help you, not just to survive, but to to scale and to expand. We have quite a number of questions that we have. I mean, that are still in the Q&A. We are going to answer them and we are going to engage you with the answers so that you are not left by yourself. Also, I want to use this opportunity to thank the speakers. But before I go, let me call on the head SME banking, the head SME acquisition and partnership, Ibidu, to thank the participants and close us so that we can all go ahead to start attending to our customers. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jumoke, and thank you everyone once again for joining this session. And as we've come to the end of the session, I just want to thank especially the speakers, our guest speaker, Temi, and also Femi for stepping in at short notice when Abed was not available. Thank you for the insights and the practical sessions that perspectives that you gave us. Thank you for breaking down AI in such a way that, it became relevant and realistic, even to the small SMEs and of course the other bigger SMEs where we had in the room, and of course, and how it became how they can apply it in their everyday business decisions. I also want to thank you, the participants, for being active all through. I mean, the chat was a buzz with a lot of comments, and the Q&A as well, so much that we couldn't take all the questions that you directed at us. But we can assure you that, we have your names, you register with your email addresses, and we'll give you the appropriate answers to your questions within the course of the week. So you will be getting the recordings, you'll get answers to your questions, and your relationship managers nearest to you will also take up these conversations and answer where you need to go on to get information from the bank or pick up any of our products. So, thank you for your time and your participation. It also reinforces why we need to do this and why our platform, our SMEConnect platform, is also important. So at First Bank, for us, we are steadfast in our commitment to SMEs, and then as we're emphasized today, while our support goes beyond finance alone, which is expected for a bank. It's also about providing the right mix of funding, the digital tools and advisory services, and partnerships that will help you scale your business and operate better, and of course, grow as well. So whether it's the working capital loans or the asset finance solutions or the digital channels that we talked about, our first online, first mobile, that you need for your everyday banking, or our POS solutions, first checkout that would accept payments, and of course make you have a transaction history, which you also need to grow as well. We're here. Our focus is to support you at every stage of this journey. So from SMEConnect and from all of us here, we'll continue to provide this kind of programs and opportunities that would remove the barriers that would enable you grow. So we encourage you to stay connected to us and participate in future sessions and take advantage of any of the opportunities that we have available. We'll continue to communicate this from time to time. I would like to thank Jumoke especially for moderating this session as well, and to keep the conversations going and engaging. And thank the people also behind the scenes, our support team and technical crew as well, for ensuring that everything ran smoothly. I'm not sure we had any glitch today, so thank you, support team as well. So as we leave this session, I would encourage all the SMEs that you take at least one insightful thing today that you actually apply to your business, because growth happens when knowledge is translated to action. So please make sure you take the right steps to grow and act on it. So from here, we'd like to thank everybody and wish you continued success in your business, and look forward to engaging with you again. Thank you and see you soon. Over to you, Jumoke.
Thank you very much, Ivy. Thank you so much, our speakers, and thank you so very much, our participants. Thank you for making this time, for making it possible, for being here, and um for receiving the learnings today. And we can't wait for you to go out there and scale in your businesses. First Bank is here for you. We are here to help you and empower, and we are to empower your business. And we are glad that you have stayed with us all through the end of this session. So until the next time, thank you very much and God bless you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.